Tiny Taster, and today's recipe is fab. It's actually a non-recipe. It's so easy, but it's so good. It is bacon wrapped prawns. The reason I call this a non-recipe is it's literally just bacon and prawns and you wrap them up together. But I've tweaked this a wee bit. Of course, you could leave it plain and just keep it simple and classic. But I was inspired from a lunch that I threw for my sister for her birthday, and the restaurant made these fabulous prawns, bacon wrapped prawns, of course. And I just thought this is how I need to eat it forever and ever. I can't do any other recipe. So I've tweaked it a little bit. I hope you enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it because it is yum. As always, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description box. It's the full detailed recipe. Check that out for measurements, tips, tricks, all that. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big fat like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share it with all your friends. So without any further ado, let's get cooking. Now there are really just two main ingredients for this recipe, one being your bacon strips and the other being prawns. Make sure your prawns are slightly larger in size, cleaned and deveined nicely. I don't add any salt because bacon is salty. In fact, I like to marinate it with a little paprika powder. You could use pepper, red chili powder, cumin, anything works. Just mix it all together. Now this is why I like to call it a non-recipe. It's such a no-brainer. You just take your prawn piece and you take a rasher of bacon and literally wrap it around the prawn. It is bacon wrapped prawns. Just make sure that you try and overlap the bacon so it doesn't come out, and then you place this seam side down. So whichever side ends, you just place it seam side down. So you'll keep doing this. As you can see, I've used another prawn piece, and as long as your bacon strip just keeps wrapping around the prawn, that's how much you'll use. Don't cut it in half or anything like that. And again, seam side down. Just continue this with all your prawns till everything is ready. It just makes it easier. Now here's a little twist. I like to add a small piece of pineapple. This was something that I got inspired at a restaurant, and I just think it's a great addition because the pineapple adds a little bit of sweetness with that salty bacon and that plump prawn. You don't have to do this, it's just a variation, but again, wrap it and it's seam side down. Put another piece of pineapple. You could put a large piece, you could put a small piece. It's really up to you, and just make sure that you wrap it well so that the pineapple doesn't come undone. And then again, seam side down, place it on a plate, and you're ready to cook. Now you don't need any oil for this recipe. You just place your bacon wrapped prawns in a non-stick pan, seam side down. That's really the cardinal rule, and just let it cook for a total of about 6, maybe 7 minutes. Make sure that your pan is really nice and hot so it sizzles. As you can see, the bacon starts to release its fat, and then once it's cooked, you'll be able to gently lift it off the pan like this. I wanted it to be a little more glazed and to get a nice coloring, so I cooked it for another minute longer. But then you just literally cook it for half on one side, flip it over and cook it on the other side, and that's really it. It will cook in its own bacon fat. You don't need anything else. Don't worry if there's too much oil that's released in the pan. You're not going to be able to cook all your prawns in one go. You'll cook it batch wise. So even if there's more oil in the pan that's leached from your first batch of bacon, it's completely okay. Just cook all your prawn pieces like this batch wise. Now once your prawn pieces have cooked, this actually is your bacon wrapped prawns. It could be just bacon wrapped prawns, it could be bacon and pineapple wrapped prawns, however you like. You can serve it as is at this stage, but I like to go one step further and give it a little bit of a glaze. So in the same pan that has all that wonderful bacon fat and drippings, just add in some chopped pineapple pieces and let this cook and toss about in that bacon fat. Please don't add any oil or butter, anything additional. This is plenty. If you think there's too much bacon fat, by all means remove some. That's not a problem. You can use as much or as little as you like. You can use as many pineapple pieces or as little as you like. There's no hard and fast rule here. Just make sure that you cook this for about 3-4 minutes till the pineapple softens and starts to caramelize a little, and then just to add some extra sweetness, not that you needed it, but it adds a nice glaze and a little zing. Just drizzle over maybe a teaspoon or 2 of honey. If you want it sweeter or you want more of a sauce, by all means add more teaspoons, but just that little bit of honey. Cook it for another minute at the very most, and then take it off the flame and drizzle it all over your prawns. It is just the most beautiful pineapple glaze. So there you go, your bacon wrapped prawns are all ready. As I mentioned, you can serve it just as bacon wrapped prawns, add pineapple pieces in the bacon wrap, add a pineapple glaze on top, or both or none. Really, you can do this however you want. It's no brainer. It's just the easiest naan recipe, as I like to call it, and so good. It really boils down to the quality of bacon and prawns that you use, so try not to skimp on that bit and you will have a cracker of a recipe. I really hope you've enjoyed this. If you do, as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.